If you're a daily Reddit user like I am, you're exposed to everything from cute cat videos and memes to political news and amazing pictures from around the internet. One picture that caught my attention was a photo of Iranian women pre-1979. This is of course the year when the Islamic Republic of Iran was founded under Ayatollah Khamenei. This photo first captivated me because it showed a different side of Iran that I never knew existed. Today I learned it snows in Iran. Flash forward to today, and Iran is in the midst of protests across the country. And while the reasons are certainly from economic factors, the undertone of social and political disapproval of the current regime cannot be ignored. The most stark example of protest is of course Iranian women all over the country removing their hijabs and headscarves, protesting Iran's compulsory dress laws. News even broke a few days ago that a woman detained for such a public indecency has been released by authorities, and while this anecdote is uplifting, it does not extend to every Iranian woman protesting, as of course over the years many Iranian women have been detained and even tortured for doing this. This begs the question, where are all the Western feminists? Where are the women that attended the Women's March standing up for women in Iran? Where are the people that espouse such platitudes such as "my body, my choice," and "down with the patriarchy," and "let's build a wall around Trump"? Surely they'd support the liberation of women that simply want to decide for themselves how to dress. Sadly, they're nowhere to be found. And that's because today's feminism in the West is not for women's rights. Sure, first and second wave feminism were great. They brought things like the right to vote, equal pay. Yes, the wage gap is a myth. But today's third wave feminism and feminists are not for women's rights. They're for an ideology, to push a leftist agenda. Instead of standing with their sisters in Tehran, you have brave feminists celebrating the hijab. You have women like Linda Sarsour, who is pro-veiling and pro-Sharia law, leading the Women's March. I wonder what an Iranian woman coming to America for the first time would think of this spectacle. Instead of doing what they can to protest Iran's subjugation of women under the Islamic Republic, they'd rather criticize Donald Trump for tweeting about the regime. Or tweeting at all. Paul Joseph Watson did a fantastic video exposing the hypocrisy of these feminists, and I'll link that video down below. But I'd like to expand upon it a little bit, and discuss why feminists won't attack Iran's regime. The heart of the issue is, today's Western feminists cannot attack Islam. Now there are numerous reasons why, but one of them might be the logical fallacy of appeal to tradition. In this logical fallacy, the user thinks that because something is a tradition or ancient wisdom, it is therefore correct and even just. However, I don't think that this is the reason why feminists won't attack Islam. It's not that Islam is ancient, therefore it is correct. I believe it's for a different reason, which is today's feminists can't criticize Islam because to do so would be an attack on all Muslims. To simply suggest that Islam has a problem as an ideology would not be an attack on the ideology, but rather an attack on an oppressed people, and they'd be no better than racists or Donald Trump supporters. Even the Huffington Post, a source as liberal as you can get, noted that people on the left should be more critical of Iran's regime. But go ahead, keep holding the hijab as a symbol of diversity. Keep wearing your pussy hats and tweeting about the patriarchy. But before you do go tweet about manspreading or mansplaining, why don't we examine the regime you won't criticize? The Islamic Republic of Iran, founded in 1979 under Ayatollah Khamenei, a man with firm beliefs. In addition to governing a state run by fundamentalist Islam, he believed in the tenets of the Quran, which states that a woman is inferior to a man. He also had other interesting views. Take, for example, his thoughts on music and animals. Don't tell me you hurt the kids. Are you kidding me? Ugh. Of course I support your right to tweet, march, and protest about whatever you want, even if it's not true. But don't pretend to be for women. Don't have a women's march that somehow also focuses on climate change and immigration, yet makes no mention of draconian laws holding Iranian women back. Don't pretend to be for women when you can't logically confront a women's issue because your third-wave feminism prevents you from doing so. I'd like to end today's video by showing you some real feminists, Iranian women, and showing you what they were fighting for. A pre-1979 Islamic-run Iran, where times weren't the best, but women were freer.